We often talk about money and wealth, and, it feels like this big, scary thing. Spreadsheets, complex math, maybe a lifetime of just saving and not enjoying things.
Yeah, that's the standard picture, isn't it? This
Yeah.
idea that it has to be rigid, maybe even a bit joyless.
Exactly. But what if that whole narrative, that conventional wisdom is actually holding us back? What if the path to a really rich life isn't about deprivation at all?
But more about intentional design.
Precisely. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a source that really flips that script. Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich, the journal.
Ah, the journal version, so it's interactive.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just a book you read passively. It's more like a workbook designed for, well, personal transformation, really challenging you to rethink basically everything you thought you knew about money.
That's a great way to put it. And our mission here in this deep dive is really to unpack how this journal works as a guide. It pushes you way beyond just, typical budgeting tips. It's about helping you actively design what Sethi calls your rich life. So we'll explore how it gets you to dig into your deepest money beliefs, the ones you might not even know you have.
The invisible scripts, yeah.
Exactly. And then articulating your own rules for money, asking the big impactful questions, and ultimately using your money to deliberately buy what actually makes you happy.
Okay.
The whole point, really, is using finance to live your ideal life, making sure money, relationships, your time, it all works together harmoniously.
Okay, let's unpack this then. What does rich life actually mean in this context? Because, like you said, it's probably not the first thing people picture.
Definitely not always the mansion and the fancy cars.
Right. The journal is super clear on that. It could include those things, sure, if that's genuinely your thing. But the real kind of genius here is how Sethi pushes us to redefine wealth for ourselves.
Yeah, to sort of confront the societal definition of rich.
And instead, craft something deeply personal. He argues, pretty convincingly, I think, that true richness often isn't just about more money. It might be more time or more freedom, more connection.
And that's where the journal really shines, I find. It moves you from these abstract ideas to really concrete personal stuff. It asks you to picture your rich life with incredibly relatable details, sometimes quite surprising ones.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Well, think about the ones in the source.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the freedom to pick up your kids from school every single day, no stress.
Okay, yeah.
Or, the simple joy of buying a really nice cashmere sweater without agonizing over the price tag.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, it might be shopping at Whole Foods and just not looking at prices. Or taking the family on that huge Disney World trip, maybe even with some behind-the-scenes stuff.
Or even simpler stuff. I remember reading about just having an extra phone charger in every room.
Exactly. That's the point. It validates your vision. It doesn't matter if it's small and simple or really grand. It's yours.
It's all about being intentional. And the journal doesn't just say, dream big. It actually gives you a structure, right?
It does. It guides you through exercises, like planning your perfect day hour by hour, meticulously.
That sounds intense, but I can see how it works.
It's not just like casual journaling. It's a visualization technique. It forces you to really confront what your ideal day actually looks like, what it feels like, down to the minute.
And there's the bucket list thing, too.
Yeah, your rich life bucket list. You brainstorm 15 items, could be travel, experiences, things you want, people you want to connect with.
Okay.
And then this is the important bit. You circle the 5 that feel the most meaningful to you.
So it helps you focus.
Precisely. It's not just wishful thinking. It makes those dreams feel tangible. It's like the first real step towards making them happen, taking action.
Okay, but if this rich life just sounds like spending money, the journal throws in something that, for me, really shifts things. It challenges that whole delay gratification forever idea.
You mean the prime spending years?
Yes. Get this, it's a really provocative idea, apparently from the author's uncle. It suggests there's this optimal window for spending, often between, say, 40 and 60.
Right, the period where you hopefully have this convergence of time, money, physical health, and maybe the mental energy to really enjoy it all.
Exactly, to actually pursue those rich life goals you just defined.
And the insight there, it isn't just about age. It's really a powerful argument against that default script of just saving endlessly and putting off living.
That whole I'll do it someday trap.
Yeah, because someday might not come, or, when it does, maybe your ability or desire to enjoy those things has faded a bit. And the journal basically argues your rich life won't just happen. You need to be deliberate. Act now. It's about finding that sweet spot where Opportunity, capacity, and desire all line up.
And this ties straight into another trap the journal just nails, I think. Obsessing over tiny costs.
The $3 latte question.
Yeah. While completely ignoring the massive decisions that actually shape your financial future, which brings us to asking $30,000 questions, not $3 questions.
That example from the source is powerful.
Isn't it? The Instagram reader worrying herself sick over a, $30,000 advisor fee?
Yeah, consumed by it.
Only for Remit to point out that the real cost of that decision, or maybe indecision over her lifetime, was potentially 10 times that, like $315,000.
Ah,
It's such a stark contrast to worrying about, I don't know, the price of dessert or FOMO over some tiny past mistake.
it's classic missing the forest for the trees. Or focusing on pebbles while a boulder rolls towards you, maybe.
Ugh.
What the author really hammers home is, it's kind of tragic to spend your life micromanaging tiny expenses when your energy should be on the big wins.
Right. And the journal lays out these key areas for big wins.
Yeah, 5 categories where a focused effort brings, like, disproportionate results. Personal finances, obviously, your job or career, your important relationships, health, and leisure time.
And the idea is one big smart move in one of those areas can totally outweigh years of small, painful cuts.
Exactly. And within personal finance, there's one big win the journal highlights as a total game changer.
Automating your finances.
Bingo. It's framed not just as convenient, but as like a psychological superpower.
How so?
Well, once you set up automatic transfers for investments, savings, bills, your money just flows where it needs to. It removes the need for constant decisions, for willpower.
And the guilt that comes with spending.
Right, it frees up all that mental bandwidth. So you can actually focus on living that rich life because you know the important financial stuff is happening in the background.
And the argument is that consistency, especially with investing, can be worth millions over time because of compounding.
Absolutely. Which, leads to a pretty important question.
Mm.
Where do these habits, these anxieties, these limiting beliefs about money even come from in the first place?
Okay. So this is the rewire your money beliefs part.
Exactly. The journal digs deep here. It suggests our money beliefs act like these invisible scripts.
Things we learned growing up, maybe.
Yeah, shaped by upbringing, family experiences, culture, media, all of it. And these scripts often get boiled down to just one word, like growth or safety or maybe just enough.
It's like that old story, right? The fish doesn't know it's swimming in water.
That's a perfect analogy. These beliefs are so deep, so fundamental, we don't even see them. But they dictate how we interact with money, often completely unconsciously.
It is kind of wild how deep those roots go. But okay, if they're so ingrained, these invisible scripts, how? How do you actually change them? What does the journal suggest is the biggest challenge?
Well, to get to the root, it introduces a technique called the 5 whys, borrowed from Toyota, actually.
Okay.
It's simple but powerful. You just keep asking why
Yeah.
repeatedly to peel back the layers and get past the surface answers.
So you don't stop at the first why.
Never. The journal has this great example. Okay, you feel bad spending money. Why?
Maybe I feel guilty.
Right. Why guilty? Because you think you should be saving more. Why should you save more?
Because I won't have enough to feel safe.
Okay. Why don't you know what enough is? Because you've never actually defined it for yourself. And the final why haven't you defined it?
Maybe. Because I saw my parents struggle. And I'm scared of ending up like that.
Exactly. And boom, you see, the issue isn't really a number, it's a feeling, a deep-seated fear. It's often that 5th why that hits the real, sometimes irrational belief driving everything.
Wow. That's powerful. The journal also tackles another really common belief, doesn't it? The whole you have to be an entrepreneur thing.
Oh yeah, the hustle culture narrative.
Yeah.
That real wealth only comes from starting your own business or grinding 24/7.
Which is everywhere today.
It is. But Sethi points out, look, countless wealthy people built their fortunes working regular 9-to-5 jobs through decades of consistent, disciplined investing. Or, let's be honest, some were just born rich.
Right.
That idea that only entrepreneurs get rich is just another limiting belief we might need to examine
Right.
and maybe rewire.
So once you start unpacking those beliefs, what's next?
The next logical step, according to the journal, is to consciously rewrite your money rules.
Okay, but these aren't like standard financial rules from a textbook.
Not at all. They're highly personalized, guidelines that reflect your values, your beliefs. Think of it like your personal financial constitution. The journal shares some of Remit's own rules, like having a year of emergency funds, saving 10%, investing 20%.
I remember the one about never questioning spending on books or health.
Right. But the key thing the journal stresses, those are his rules, based on his values. Your rules will look different. They should look different. They're the foundation for your rich life, tailored perfectly to you.
This personalization theme is strong, which leads to another really cool concept, money dials.
Yes, this is brilliant. It flips budgeting on its head.
How so?
Instead of starting with cutting back everywhere, the journal suggests something radical. Start by using money to actively create your rich life. Spend mercilessly, that's the word used, on the things you genuinely love.
Mercilessly. I like that.
It means consciously deciding to prioritize and spend more on what truly brings you joy and meaning. And then you look for places to cut back the things you don't really care about anyway.
So it's strategic spending, not just reactive cutting.
Exactly. It's a huge psychological reframe. Spending isn't inherently bad. It's a tool. The journal gives loads of examples of buying back your time.
Like hiring a cleaner
Yes,
or grocery delivery.
yeah, or using a travel agent, buying better quality stuff that lasts longer so you don't have to replace it, even an at-home pet groomer if that saves you hassle you hate.
Okay.
And these money dials, they can focus on different values. Maybe yours is convenience,
Mhm.
so you'll happily pay for taxis or direct flights.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's experiences, so you splurge on amazing trips or concerts.
Or relationships, funding date nights, helping family.
Precisely. The point is knowing your dials.
Yeah.
What do you want to turn up? And then spending in line with those deep values.
So bringing this all together, what does it mean day to day? It's these psychological reframes, as the journal calls them, changing how you think about spending, not just the numbers.
Right. When you consciously say yes to what you love and a phone no to stuff you don't really care about, it kind of short-circuits that feeling of rebellion, that reactance we feel when we're told we can't have something.
Because you're choosing the no for things you don't value anyway.
Exactly. It gives your spending purpose. It feels like freedom, not deprivation.
But this sounds like a lot to change at once. Does the journal offer advice on how to actually implement this without getting overwhelmed?
Oh, definitely. The advice is very practical. Slow and steady changes win the race. It specifically warns against drastic cuts overnight.
Like going cold turkey on clothes spending.
Yeah. Don't go from $500 a month to zero. Instead, focus on one or two areas. Make gradual, intentional cuts. Maybe trim that $300 clothing budget by 10% this month, then another 10% next month. Make it sustainable.
That makes sense.
And it also tells you to anticipate failure expectation. Meaning know that roadblocks will happen. Peer pressure is a big one. Someone will say, oh, come on, live a little, when you're making a different choice.
Right.
Being mentally ready for that, knowing it's part of the process, is absolutely crucial for sticking to your own path,
Yeah.
your rich life path.
Okay. So wrapping this up, our deep dive into I Will Teach You to Be Rich, the journal. It really shows that a rich life, it isn't about those rigid budgets or scary math problems.
Not at all.
It's much deeper, much more personal. It's about really getting clear on your values first, then tackling those limiting money beliefs we all carry around,
And intentionally designing what your ideal life actually looks like.
and then using money purposefully as a tool to make that vision real, a vibrant reality.
Absolutely. It's about shifting from playing defense with your money, always worried, always restricting, to playing offense.
Yeah, offense. I like that.
Building a life based on abundance, maybe generosity, definitely patience,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just reacting all the time. The journal really empowers you, I think, to be the CEO of your own life.
Making those big win decisions.
Ones that have that disproportionate positive impact on your happiness, your freedom, your overall well-being.
So as you listening reflect on all this, here's a final thought to chew on. What single money rule that reflects your values, or what one money dial you want to turn up? What one thing will you identify and maybe prioritize this week?
Yeah, what tangible step can you take towards your rich life? Remembering it's not just about saving more, it's about spending purposefully, even mercilessly, on what truly deeply matters to you.